Good morning. So today I'm going to try and show you how to fold Moravian star, and this one is just birch bark wrapping paper, because birch bark, while I have worked with it, is much harder to learn on. So if you have wrapping paper or ribbon, that's a good source for strips. What you're going to want to do is cut some strips that are 3/4 of an inch thick and about 24 inches long. And one thing I really like to use is maps. So if you've ever had a major issue folding up a map, and this is kind of like revenge on maps. So what I do is I take a yardstick and measure out 3/4 of an inch, and you can see my lines on here. And then I cut those strips out. Maps, this one happens to be 24 inches, so it worked out perfectly. And I've started making like a garland for my Christmas tree in my studio. And I just like it because these are places I've been. This particular map is Wyoming. So it's fun to see some of the different towns and parks that I've been to. And then with the lights on them, I think it'll be real pretty. So, but now if you did want, with your map star or your birch bark strips, to have the birch bark show on both sides of your star, like this one, you would need to have a 1.5 inch thick strip and then fold it in half like this. And that way you have your print on both sides. Some wrapping paper comes with print on both sides, so that can work too. So the first step is you cut your strips 3/4 inch by 24 inches long. And we're just going to line up the ends here and taper them, because this will make weaving a lot easier. Do the same thing on the other end. And you're going to be cutting off, when you're finished, you're going to be cutting off about 3 or 4 or 5 inches. So you don't have to worry about making your tapers too long. To begin with, we're going to fold these all in half. And since this is the learning one, I'm just going to use 2 different colors. So I'm going to be using the outside of the wrapping paper and the inside of the wrapping paper. Back this out a little bit. Whoop. So I'll put 2, just fold them all in half. I'll leave the white side out on these. I'm always conscious about not wanting the video to be too long, so if I do a lot of chattering, it's because I'm nervous that it's taking too long. So I've got all 4 strips folded in half. Let's start with pointing one strip to the north, which will be up on a map. And we're going to take one of the white strips and we're going to put it in the direction that the open side would be facing east on a map. Then we're going to take another strip that has the print, and since this printed strip is on the inside of this, we're going to put this strip on the outside of this one. So open that guy up. Okay. And then we're going to take one that points to the west with the open side. Oops, I did that wrong already, see? You want your folded side and your open side to be opposite of each other. And you want your weave to be, this one's inside, this one's outside. So what we got to do is put that folded side up. All right, and then the other one, you weave the opposite of the other 3. So that means this folded piece, whoop, let's do it again. This folded edge is going to come inside of your north facing strip, and then the ends of this one are going to go inside of the fold, making it look really unelaborate. Okay. But this is a way of checking yourself. When you pull these 2 clear ones and then we pull these 2 print ones, you're going to have a nice little basket weave pattern. All right. So I'm going to pull in on that a little bit so you can double check that you've got this pattern going on. All right. And the next thing we're going to do is you're going to take your strip that's facing north, we'll call it. This video is going to be upside down, so you're going to be absolutely 100% confused. But take the one that's furthest away from you on the left and fold it down. And then take the one that's down and fold it up And then we're going to take from the right, and we're going to go over this one that we folded and under this one. So you're always just going over, under, and just weaving. And then we're going to take the one on our left, fold it over the top of this one, and catch that little pocket right there. And weave it back, okay? Now, if you've done that correctly, you have your two white ones here and your two print ones here. So then the next step is to start making little triangles, and to make the points of our star, take this top right one. I'm going to back it out again a little bit more. Oh, everything's backwards on this for me, the way I'm looking at it. And turn it so that it lines up. Don't fold it towards you, but turn it away from you and fold it so it lines up with those other two, and make a fold like that. And then bring it back so that it lines up with the three below closest to you. And you're going to have a fold like this. And then we're going to take this whole line and fold it back on itself like that. Okay. Then to make it easy to find where the end of this strip goes, just fold right along that edge where you have your little peak, where you've got your first point of your star. Fold that up. You're going to go right in here. There's a little slot right here. And you're going to take your tip where you've made your fold, and you're going to tuck it inside of that. Okay? And I usually hold the tip when I start pulling it down, and that way I won't pull it too far. Snug up a little. Now we're going to rotate counterclockwise and do the same thing with every strip that's on the right. Fold and fold towards itself, and then lay on top of itself, then flip that up. And now this one's in the way, so it's kind of hiding that little pocket. Just stick the tip of that right in there and pull that towards you. Once I see that little star point, I just hold onto that with my thumb and pull down. Rotate counterclockwise. Do the same thing again. You want to be careful not to have this overlap, because when you go to fold it this direction, it makes it a little bit harder to fold. And then flip that up. Push this little stubby piece out of the way. And then sometimes it's handy to have like a little tweezer or something to kind of open that pocket first and tuck that tip in there. Okay, we got one more to do. We only have 3 points on our star. I'll just zoom in a little bit in case you're having trouble seeing what's happening with this fold. Take it out, the one on the right, fold it this way, and then bring your fold down this direction. Then that whole piece just folds over on itself. Then fold up over your triangle, that piece that you're working with, so you can find that pocket, which is hiding behind this little strip. Whoops, I lifted both. Okay, there's the pocket. All right, you're finished with this side. So we're going to flip it over. We've got 4 points. So you should have white on top of print, print on top of white, white on top of a print, and print on top of white. Now we'll flip it. Okay. Now you're going to be working with your longer strips. Back it up again. Flip the whole thing over. So we're going to work with our longer strips and do the same thing. Fold away from or under and back and make another peak. Same method as before. Okay. And slip up. And there's your little pocket. First one's always easy to find because there's nothing covering it. We need to do this 4 times. Tuck. Put your thumb there to hold it snug. Okay. Rotate counterclockwise. And fold. And fold. And fold in. And fold up. And find the pocket that's hiding underneath the strip and tuck your tip in there. And you'll see it come out right there. Okay, and grab that point and hold it. Rotate counterclockwise. After you've done 2 or 3 of them, you don't hardly think about it anymore. You just know the pattern. But I did have to watch a video on this myself about 3 or 4 times before I could figure out this fold. So if it gets confusing, just push pause, back it up, and watch it again. That's the great thing about everything that's online right now. It's fun to do things in person, but there are advantages to having a video that you can just push rewind. Okay. And then the fun part begins. I gotta get this last one in here. That's why I say sometimes a little scissor or something helps you get that pocket opened up. Alright. Now you should have 8 points that are flat. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So now we're gonna make the little 3D part, this part here. So to curl, you want to take and curl down and under, and then don't put, so you can tell how I'm doing this. This is the print side. Don't tuck up with the unprinted side. Keep that printed side facing up. That's one way to check that you're doing this correctly. It should look like a bow like this. And the pocket for that is underneath of here, okay? And you're gonna see it, this little tapered tip, pop out if you do it correctly. Oh, what have I done? And sometimes it just doesn't. Unless I started. I'll make sure I did this right. Let's take this one first. So that's, the white side is up, and the white side needs to taper in. And there should be a little pocket here, and when the tip comes out, it needs to come out through the center of your point here. I must have started with the wrong one. Okay, so it's hiding under there again. We're just gonna pull that now and snug that up. Now we're rotating clockwise. Okay. So now I'm going to take this one, print side is up, so I want to curl it down and have the print side tuck underneath of here and come out through the little star tip and snug. Down. Print side. It's very tempting to go like this, but that's not going to work. You got to keep this loop in this direction. On the fourth one, go under your point, this point, and just tuck it right under that point. It'll still come out through this point of your flat tip. Alright, you have one side done. Great. Now we're going to flip it and finish the other side. I'm just going to come in a little tighter to show that. So now we're going to take these and do the same thing. Down. We're going this direction. Pull that strip up. Tuck. A little tip should come out of the point up above. Boom. Okay. Now we're just going to go clockwise and keep doing that. Pull this one up out of the way. Take this one, tuck, watch for it to come out right here. Okay. And you're like, I don't know where it goes. It's hiding. It's always hiding underneath until the last one. Yep. So many times I almost do it wrong myself. Okay. You'll know if you do it wrong. Just pull it back out and do it over. Okay. Last one goes under the tip. That's the pointy, this one. Right underneath of there. And we watch for it to come out over here. And that's your last one. All that's left is to trim. Okay. So now we're going to trim. Just snip all those little pieces off. And like I said, if you have wrapping paper that you would like to see the design on both sides, you'll just need to cut your strips at 1.5 inches and then fold them. And that way your print will be on both sides. But this way of demonstrating it makes it a little easier to understand what's going where. And that's that. Have fun. And happy holidays.